Oh, people wanted my thoughts on this. Okay. Granted, it's an Asmongold video, whatever. We're going to watch it. It's about this game, Concord. Okay. I'm going to give you guys like, listen, I'm going to give you guys like, just like, there's like, I'm going to say this is like capital gamers. And then this is like hyper woke. Okay. I used to work for Sony. This is true. Okay. Here's my thought on this before going in. Okay. There's this like spectrum. It's like this. And I genuinely think 95% of the population is like here. Like 95% of people. Then there's like these small niches of people that like kind of fucking ruin shit. Okay. I do think, I'm maybe honest on Asmongold. I think sometimes he kind of caters to like this fucking group right here who are like, yo, get politics out of my video games. Why do I have to play as a female character? Like, yeah, that, you know, that kind of shit where you're like, okay, shut the fuck up. Like, that shit's just annoying. Like, you can have fucking politics in video games. Shit, you can have political message. Female representation in games is great. Fuck yeah. But I will admit that, I think it is literally a reaction to this. We then got these people who are like hyper woke on video games where they like actually genuinely did try to like fucking ham fist like diversity and like woke messaging into games, which isn't necessarily bad, but like they probably did it on the wrong games and they did it in a fucking bad way, you know? Green Plum has a good politics, and it's just a non-white person. Like black protagonist shows up. Oh, what are these politics doing in my video games? You know, like, anyways, I don't fully know that listen, I also think my thought on Concord is going to be this. Especially when it comes to like a character based game or a game where it's like you're playing a hero shooter, a MOBA, etc. And if you want that game to be mass appeal, you need the characters and the art style to be what the word I would use is aspirational. You need people to like the vast majority of people to want that, right? Not some small niche over here, some small niche over here. Like you need like a wide swath of people to like that. I don't know much about Concord. My guess is that Concord probably failed because it was a massive like 8-year giga budget game where they just did not prioritize like a broadly appealing theme and, you know, good gameplay. Anyways, well, we'll see. Let's find out.
Board has been aborted. My mod sent it to me. Nomad sent it to me, and I replied back. I said, I used to pray for times like these. It's crazy. Yep, it's dead. It's actually fucking dead. Yep, I know. Isn't that crazy? Yep, with a full refund. You're goddamn right. I know, man. Abortion clinic worked on Concord. Well, hey, this goes right into what people are talking about with post-birth abortions, you know? It's been around for a couple of weeks, and they finally decided, you know what? This is a bad decision after all. Man. So they brought...
You know what's funny about, like, what I'll say about this video? I think I agree. Like, I think Concord was a bad game, and there's a lot of dumb shit with it. I think the thing I'd tell Asman is like, bro, why are you celebrating a game's failure, though? You know, like, fuck.
About the old coat hanger? No, they didn't need. It's just dead anyway, man. Yeah, honestly, I think it's fucking done, man. Yeah, only a $250 million mistake from Sony. Yeah, holy fuck, dude. Guess what? Nothing will be learned. You say nothing will be learned, but I don't agree with that. I think people learned a lot out of Concord, man. I did. Some people are going to be fired after Concord failure.
All right, you guys want the real hot take though? I'm gonna give you guys the real fucking hot take. Because here's the like, listen, and I don't mean to like, I'd love for Asmongold's take on this. Because you know what? The easy take to appease the like, you know, when we look the like gamers, right? Like that hardcore, like low key, like they're kind of like right wing-ish, kind of anti-women, get these politics out of my games. Like that's the easy take. Like here's the spicy take, okay? Doesn't fucking matter if Concord had like hot jiggle physics tittied girls. Still wouldn't have worked. Hasn't like, yeah, it probably failed harder because they went for this like hyper woke angle. Guess what? The shooter, like arena shooters, MOBA shooters, that like genre is oversaturated. Wouldn't work. So you want the real hot take? I don't think Deadlock is going to succeed. I think you have one of the best studios at making games, Valve, making a genuinely refreshing game that has a lot of very intricate mechanics. I don't even think that game's going to succeed. And I challenge you to go and check out Deadlock and see how many people are playing that. Obviously, it'll do better than Concord, but for the amount of money that it probably took to develop Deadlock versus what return they're going to get on it, I don't think it's going to be successful. I don't think any game is challenging like League of Legends, Dota, CSGO, Valorant, like all these like competitive either like MOBA or FPS games. And you also have to deal with like Counter-Strike and Apex. Like it's such a flooded market of, what people don't realize is that your competitive
3 years poggers.
Anomalous of Vegas with the prime of 3 years. Your competitive game like Deadlock isn't just competing with League of Legends. It's competing with Valorant. It's competing with Apex Legends. It's also competing with the new Call of Duty. They're all competing for that same game as a sport kind of video game. So,
Oh yeah, no. Make no mistake. I think
a new IP is just
triple-digit amount of people are going to be absolutely fucking removed because of this. This is going to be like a Concord will be remembered in 10 years from now for how much of a catastrophic failure it was. I don't think that.
Yeah, but I think the better analysis here is to go deeper than just, hey, Concord didn't have appealing characters. I think to go deeper is to be like, bro, even Overwatch has struggled as a game with Blizzard's IP and with arguably some of the best fucking character design ever done, and even Overwatch has struggled, dude. Like this space is just so fucking saturated. It's really hard, especially now that we've gotten to a place where like game design has like actually capped out. It's not like games just exponentially have just exponentially like this way gotten better or are like steadily getting better. You probably see a curve that kind of looks like this. Maybe it's like exponential in the start, but like games are like plateauing in like how good they can really be, especially of a certain genre. So I think the bigger lesson is not whether Concord it's not okay. Concord fails. I'd love like chat, please. Let's look and see how Deadlock's doing by the end of the year. I'm really curious.
People respect.
And by the way, I think Deadlock is if Deadlock makes it, I still think my point can stand because Deadlock is the best case scenario for a game.
How big of a failure this was. It's incredible, right? A lot of people are very happy about this, myself included. The game looked like trash, and so that's what happens. So Concord is going offline. That's right, guys. They are bringing Concord into end of service. This massive game, this is like, I really do feel like this is a monumental, catastrophic failure that is something that will be remembered for years to come. This will be something that like 10 years from now will be like, do you remember like we look back on like games like Superman 64 or E.T. on Atari or the Hobbit game on the GameCube, I think was like really bad. And there's like a handful of other ones that were just like super, super garbage. Like this will be one of those games. Yeah, Duke Nukem Forever. This will go into the
Right, but like I think it's gonna like, and again, I'm not trying to like give like the leftist progressive woke angle on this. But I'm telling you guys, Concord failed literally largely because of its genre. I don't think any game in this genre is going to work. I think the degree to which Concord failing became such a media topic that Asmongold and other people are covering it is because a bunch of fucking teenage boys are jerking off to the idea that like the woke feminists that designed the characters failed, right? And are happy about that. That's like why it's more like, and by the way, I'm also not like, I'll tell you guys, the character design in Concord is shit. Like straight up. Like I'm not going to pull punches. Like I have to actually agree with our quote gamer, the angry gamers. It actually is pretty bad. Like they're fucking terrible character designs. But I don't think that's why it failed.
Pantheon of failures. Like it will make its rightful place in the pantheon of game failures of all time. Yep, the Hall of Fame, more like the Hall of Shame. And so anyway, let's go ahead and read this. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch didn't land the way that we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline, beginning September 6th, 2024, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. There you go. So while we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who purchase the game for PS5 or for PC. If you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store, a refund will be issued back to your direct payment method, original payment method. Customers refund somewhere else probably will also be refunded, probably just contact Steam and you'll get refunded. So yes, the game that had been announced, this game, like you guys got to remember, this was like Sony's Overwatch. This was their next big game. This wasn't a big game. This was an IP. You guys have to understand this. Like, this wasn't just like they were planning a whole world with this. This was a whole environment. They had characters. They made backstories for everything. They planned on having this be the next big thing. And it was. It's the next big failure. And so, yes.
Chat, does anyone know how much money they actually invested in it? Like, how big of an investment was this from Sony? This, having worked at Sony, I don't think this was their biggest play. Maybe this was their play to get into like games as a service, but I don't think they were that. They
have effectively, aborted Concord. It's dead. Massive Sony L. 8 years. Keep in mind, yes, this game has been in development for 8 years.
Okay, 8 years is a long time for a game. That's a lot of money.
Ironically, this is the most fitting trophy name for the one person in the world who platinumed Concord. Living legend. Wow. Ultimate ready. Like, I feel like this is going to be like, if you have this on your account, this is going to make your account worth more money. This is like, yeah, this account is the account, the only one that has the platinum achievement for Concord, the dead game from 2024, right? Like 15 years ago, right? This is the 0.1%, right? Bro, this guy is the Flappy Bird, exactly. PlayStation will take Concord offline on Friday and refund all players who purchase the game. An important update on Concord Firewalk Studio, and you can see PlayStation muted replies. Uh-oh, I wonder why. Concord is flat out being taken offline forever. I thought a rush to free-to-play was nuts. They still might do that, but yeah, free-to-play will not save the game. People just don't want anything that the game has to offer. Like, that's all there is to it. The game doesn't really look like it plays well. The characters look stupid. Like, what are you doing? Like, how did you think this was going to work at all? So you think about it, and they invested. So let's see. So you had, let's say they put $100 million into it, and they sold, what did they say, like 35,000 copies? So 35,000 for $40. What is that? Oh, geez. Oh, man.
I don't think it was $100 million to make that game. But I don't know. Maybe someone will tell me the numbers.
Oh, wow. That's not anywhere even near it. Oh, geez.
250 million was, oh, well, probably marketing also puts in a big chunk of money.
That's only $1.2 million, $1.3 million. Oh, wow. Jesus. And so they've lost 99% of their money. So maybe they've recouped 1% of their money. That is incredible. Go woke, go broke. I feel like being woke is like, so that's not the main reason why Concord died.
True.
Like, you can't look at a game like Deadlock that has tons of representation, and you can't look at a game like Overwatch that's somehow more woke than Concord ever could hope to be, and then be like, the reason why Concord failed is because it was woke. Now, I do think that it definitely had...
Yes. Actually, great take from Asmongold. I think the being woke thing probably distracted them from what they were doing, but I actually don't think it's the reason the game failed.
Like, that first impression that people got with it, of people thinking it was like a DEI woke game, definitely hurt the amount of people. It hurt the initial reception, right? Like, as soon as people saw that, they said, oh, wow, this is going to be one of those other bullshit games, right? So I think that definitely happened, right? Concords were no pronouns or was and were. Yeah, that's about right. And it's a win over DEI anyway. I mean, I think that it's another point on the graph for sure. Definitely. Overwatch is extremely gay. I mean, I would say that's only the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, and they make characters ugly, and ugly things don't sell well. Yeah, it was ugly, bad, and boring. I think...
Dude, that's it. You listen. this is the same thing, and a lot, and I'll give you guys some insight. Like, there was a point where Valorant's art design was fucking trash, and I don't think Valorant as a game would have done well because the characters were too grim and ugly. At the end of the day, you can have a lot of diversity in your game, but just make the characters fucking cool. Like, dude, like, here's a great example. Like Phoenix, black character, right? Phoenix is one of the signature, like, I would argue like two of the like poster child of Valorant were like Phoenix and Jet, right? Korean girl, black dude. I'm fucking white people, right? Bro, Phoenix is hot. Like, Phoenix is attractive. He's appealing. The word that I love to use when thinking about character designs in game is aspirational. And again, if you're making some darling indie project and you want representation of like more normal looking people, if that's what fits the story, then do that. But as soon as you're like Concord or Valorant or League of Legends, right? It's like, yo, I'm playing as a hero, as a champion. I want something that feels like a hero or a champion. Like, bro looks like a fucking champion, you know?
I think that's basically about it too. No, I probably agree with you, and that's kind of the way that I see it too. But it's 7 out of 10. How can it die so fast? Because the reviewers are only giving positive reviews as a method of access journalism, and also because the Concord aligns against the people that they disagree with. So yeah, woke is not diverse representation, it's forced pan.
This is another one of those things where, like, I know there's the whole, like, all the fucking gamers banded against the journalists and all that kind of vibe, but I actually do agree that, like, I fucking hate games, like, the fucking journalism in video games. That shit does suck. They're always like, yo, this game was fucking life-changing, incredible game, 9 out of 10. And then they'll be like, yo, this game barely fucking runs, characters suck, shooting sucks, this shit's ass, 8 out of 10. Right? Like, dude, like, you don't fucking listen to IGN. No one cares about IGN anymore.
Pandering to
That's why I loved people like Dunkey, right? Dunkey gave a good, fresh perspective on games.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, again, there's, like, nobody thinks something is woke if there's, like, a black character in it, right? I mean, I guess there's some people that think that, but, like, this is, like, a very small minority. But, whenever you're giving robots pronouns and you have pronouns on character selectors, and then, like, every character seems like it's checking a box, you know, yeah, it does take people out of it. And I think that to say that that had no impact on Concord, I mean, this is the Emperor's New Clothes. It obviously did. Having the entire internet talk about how it's a woke, fake, bullshit game that's only made to check boxes, and, you know, again, like, look at the characters, they look awful. Why would...
That's actually a fair point, right? I think they probably, like, pushed that angle of it too much, you know?
Anybody want to play with that? Yeah, Blizzard diversity chart. Yeah, it was designed based off of that. This absolutely played a factor. It 100% played a factor. If somebody thinks that it doesn't, then they're on copium.
But I think, like, I think it's also, like, that's why, like, I look at, like, when they made the Valorant cast, and I'll glaze Riot here. Like, when they made the cast of Valorant, it wasn't, like, also just by the nature of being, like, each agent is from a different country, inherently made it so that they were going to get good diversity and representation. But it was never like, oh, fuck, like, yo, we need a black character. It was always like, yo, look at this dope character who happens to be black, right? And I think that, like, when you start designing things that way, and, like, obviously, like, you put, like, yeah, I think having diversity, and it's, like, great. Like, not everyone's trying to play as, like, you know, grizzled, shouting white guy number 23. Ironically, by the way, the worst designed characters in Valorant, and there's two of them, are the two white guys. By far the worst designed. Brim and Breach are, like, actually, I think, comically badly designed. To this point that people still confuse them. Like, they're actually, like, the fucking worst.
And they don't want to accept the fact that it played a factor. That's the truth. In a way, I feel like you can have gay characters and not be woke. Normal people think like that, but we're talking about Western game developers here, so that can't happen. Sorry, but yeah. Let's see here. You could have made a new Killzone game and saw a multiplayer offering instead of this. Yeah, I've been thinking about that game a lot. So there's another game that came out that was talking about Killzone as well. So yeah.
Yeah, but, like, okay. Is Asmon, I'd be curious though, is Asmongold also, like, aware enough, like, self-aware enough to know that, like, when the language is like, oh yeah, but you're talking about Western game developers, oh, go woke, but, like, he's got to be a little bit aware enough that like what he kind of says is like kind of pandering to the other audience, which is the fucking anti-woke people who like are preying on the downfall of this stuff, and who like whenever there's like a female protagonist of any game, they're like, why can't I play as a man? Like, you know, like you gotta have a little bit of self-awareness here, right? That like you're also kind of pandering to the other side.
You could just DM them. That's fucked up. Just DM the Concord players, yeah. Wow. 30 people. 30 players. And I said this yesterday, right? Is like this couldn't go on because they would have to have immediate. Remember I was saying yesterday that they're having meetings today about like what they're going to do because soon they wouldn't be able to fill lobbies, right? Because you think about it, right? A live service game, like for example, I can be the only person in the world who's playing Super Mario Brothers 3, and I can still have the same experience as somebody who played it when it came out, 1990, who played it in 1990. Yeah, so I can have the exact same experience, but with an online game, it's totally different. Totally different. So yeah, you guys know, yeah, there's a little bit different. 30 developers, yeah. And so Concord shutting down, a game that took $180 million and 8 years to make is being fully refunded and taken offline 2 weeks after launch is the bleakest.
What is the actual amount? Cobalt, thanks for the 22 months at tier 3, dude. Appreciate that. What's the actual amount? I want someone in chat to find that out for me.
Speedrun world record I've ever seen. I'm going to be honest, guys. That's about right. I have 48 hours in this game. The people that are playing it love it. I've met and played with so many cool people simply because of this game. We have a free gunner chat on PlayStation. Fuck all these people who gave the game such unwarranted hate for no good reason. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, it's been my pleasure. I hope you enjoyed your stay. I hope you had fun. Yep, Dev comment. Yeah, sure. Sure, we saved him. Yeah, we were doing this. Listen, you were playing a bad game. Logan, here's the thing, man, is we're doing it for your own good. You don't know what you're missing out on. You don't know. You've been eating shit your whole life, and you convinced yourself that it was chocolate, and you even had a group chat of everybody else telling you how much the chocolate tasted great.
Redfall is another great example of this. Listen, chat, I can give you guys, you know what's funny? I think it's really easy to pick on Concord here, but I can give you guys a laundry list of games that I think will not make it. I would not celebrate them not making it, and I'd like to be proven wrong, but I could even what's the new game that Shroud and them worked on? I'd love to be proven wrong on that. I just don't think that game will have legs. The Finals is not going to make it. What was that one game? Tar, thanks for the 2 years. The Finals is not going to make it.
2 years Blau dance.
What was the game with the portals? Splitgate. There's like all these like arena shooter battle royale fight. There's just so many of them. The Finals, Splitgate, Redfall. And my honest take is I don't think Deadlock is going to make it. Deadlock might be the one. Because again, like to really tee up, it's like you need a top tier developer that makes a new IP and it has to just be so fucking good.
Great, but listen, this is an intervention. Now it's time for you to move on and go play Deadlock, okay? Maybe one of those friends in your free gunner chat will have a link to Deadlock and then you can play a real game. How about that? Yeah, go play Black Myth Wukong. Yeah, come back to the light now. Yeah, you've had your fun.
By the way, games like Black Myth Wukong, I think of as totally different games. Those are like experiences. I'm talking about like games as like a service, you know, that you play. X Defiant, Splitgate. We'll come back to this, but and I know it's still like it's not like launched yet, right? Like and I'm not, this isn't me trying to glaze Riot and shit on Valve, because I also think like CS, like I just don't think Deadlock has to compete against not only Riot's games but also Epic's and Valve's own games. Deadlock has to compete against CS:GO, against Dota. Here, my take is I don't think Deadlock will make it. Isa thinks so, and of all of these games, I think Deadlock it might be the only one that could make it. So my counterpoint to that, Asm, is I think all these games aren't going to make
Catch your
it.
fun in the shadows.
Oh, GTA 6 will make it.
No, come back to the light.
That's like a known IP.
Guy, no, it's probably somebody else. They're pulling the game off Steam. Damn, dude, I'm getting the day before flashbacks. Well, here's the difference between the day before. Is that the day before, like, the amount of money that they put into that game was like nothing, right? Like, this is a Concord is a new ET. They'll bury it in the desert if they can. Yeah, that's a good question. What are they going to do with all of the Concord? Do they have physical copies of Concord at, like, GameStop? Like, I don't know. Has anybody been to, like a Best Buy or a GameStop recently? So, they have physical copies at Target. Okay, so you go to Target and you see, like, a Concord. It would be so funny to see if they're selling Concord, like to go to 4 or 5 different stores and see if they're selling Concord there, and then ask the people that are there and be like, oh.
Valve has like 300 employees. I wonder how much CS and Dota upkeep will suffer if Valve tries to possess. You guys have to understand, guys. Valve as a company does not give a fuck if any of their games succeed. Valve could fucking all of their games could fucking fail. It doesn't matter. The platform is what makes them money. Valve is insanely profitable. Bro, like Riot as a company is several thousand people. And they only make games.
Oh, man. But if I did that and I was recording it, oh, they would know that it was a meme. Oh, fuck.
And by the way, this isn't... I want to be very clear. This isn't me saying I hope Deadlock fails or that I think Deadlock is a bad game. From everything I've actually seen and heard, Deadlock is a beautifully designed game and is incredible. I just really think it's hard to capture the momentum and culture of people. One thing that people haven't talked a lot about with Valorant is that Valorant actually did a really good job of like latching on to like a youth gaming culture. Like a lot of like younger kids play Valorant. And that's what also like Fortnite and Roblox have done really well too.
Jesus, now I want to. Yeah, like imagine going on Saturday, the day after Concord is closed, and trying to buy the game. Yeah, check online stores with physical copies. Yeah, exactly. They would know. Well, then yeah, they would. But like, it would be really funny to like go there and be like, "Do you guys have Concord? I was really excited for this game. Apparently, it's been in development for 8 years." They're like, "Yeah, I got bad news," and be like, "Wait, what? Oh, jeez. Oh, what do you mean they canceled it? What do you mean? Oh no." You just missed it. Yeah, oh no. Yeah, what is it? What do you mean the box is right there? Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt about Skull and Bones. The character design was so cool. Yeah, the characters, I loved it. Dude, the porn acting. Well, I don't even know. Like, I feel like with some of them, that if they knew that I was playing into it, like, I would do that. Like, I always, this is just me, right? But I actually hate recording things in public with other people in public and interacting with them for content. I don't really like doing this. Now, if somebody comes up to me and speaks to me, it's fine.
What's he talking about?
But like, I don't like doing it because I feel like it's annoying. And like you're making this person content kind of without their consent, etc. Right? You know, and I get it. It's a public place. It's not a big deal. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it just makes me a little bit weird, right? I'm just like, I usually try not to do that, right? It's a little inconsiderate, right? Feels intrusive. Yeah. That's just the way I feel. But anyway. I don't think it's a bad thing, though, if somebody wants to do it. That's just the way that I personally feel. And anyway, wow, just got taken offline now. I imagine I'd get a renewed free-to-play launch. Listen, Concord is dead. It's dead. It's not going to go free-to-play. It's not going to be like, that's it. It's done. It's finished. And you know how I know that? Because Concord had a free beta weekend, and the free beta weekend had less players than the paid beta weekend. It doesn't matter. The game is dead. It's dead.
Oh.
It's finished. Stop trying to bring Concord back. Yeah, it's not going to happen. The limited edition controller is the most expensive thing on the PlayStation Store. I could try to buy a Concord limited edition controller and see if I can do that. PS5 controller will still have full price, unfortunately. I need one. I want one. I want a Concord controller now. Yeah. It's like, that's something you buy and like you leave behind for your grandkids, and then like your grandkids go to the pawn shop.
Like, again, I think one of my criticisms though of Asmongold and this sort of narrative is like, come on, dude. Like, you have to realize the narrative is like, you're a little too happy to like see a game fail. That's what I've been trying to say. It's like, you got to know, like, also Green Plum, thanks for the prime. Thank you for the sub chat.
And they say, oh yeah, this is actually worth $750,000. You know, it's like, wow, like this is a trophy. Yeah. Like it's an ancient relic of like, okay, I have to call up my video game historian guy, and they bring in, you know, some old man with a beard, and he's like, oh, back in the old days, if you consult the ancient text, there was a game on the PlayStation 5. Oh wow, they went all the way back to PlayStation 5? This must have been hundreds of years ago. You know, like that's it. Like, yeah, this game only lasted, there are only relics of this, but it only lasted for 8 days. It actually looks nice too.
Bro, I'm going to see, you know what? I'm going to say it. Let me have the fucking hot take. I think Asmongold going in on Concord, that's easy, low-hanging fruit, okay? First of all, it's PlayStation/Sony, easier target than say Valve. It appeases the gamers, not the fucking woke feminist people. So I have the hot. Okay, here's my hot take. Deadlock is dead in a few months. There. Now I've angered the gamers and the fucking Valve fanboys. Like, bam, that's my hot take. Let's see. Chat, quote me in 3 months. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I think the controller did look good.
I don't want it to fail, by the way.
Well, this was a post-birth abortion, okay? You know, it was post-birth, and it was a 1 week, right? So most people, yeah. Now they should have gone. And I think this is a good argument for abortion, if anything. They should have, but they did it as soon as they could, okay? Stillborn game, yeah, basically, yeah. Doug was murdered. Yeah, bro, they took it out to the back and they shot it. But yeah, 8 years of work and only 3 weeks to kill it. Well, I think this really goes to show one thing that the Concord situation really goes to show is that people's expectations for games, you can't make people like video games. Like developers and like the community, I think is tired of being fed slop, fed garbage. And when they get it, they say, no, we don't want this. Yeah, from talentless freaks. Yeah, who was it to call people a talentless freak? I wonder if they're going to lose their job. Some of our journalists is rage typing a tweet about you killing the game. Do you think they'll try to lay the blame on you? I hope so. I mean, if I got to take credit for this, I would be very...
Nah, it's not his fault. It's not even the like angry gamers who are like, you know, pissed off at like any sort of... And I also do. I genuinely hate it when devs shit on players. I am a very like player focused dev when it comes to game development. You never fucking shit on your players. That's just not a cool thing.
I'm very proud of myself. I don't think that it was really my fault. I think that really the truth is that a content creator, like my initial reactions to the trailer was more like, it was okay, it was fine, but I wasn't like super excited about it or anything else. I was just like, whatever. So I wasn't even like super negative about it at the beginning. Content creators cannot make people play video games. That's not how it works, or not play video games. If somebody, so this is
I strongly agree with this take. When people sponsor us to play games, if the game is bad, it's not like sponsoring us isn't going to get people to play the game. If the game is good and has merit, sponsoring us then helps more people see the game and be like, wait, I want to get that try. Like tonight's sponsor chat, I'm going to be in the living room playing NBA 2K25, but I mean, come on, that's the 2K series in NBA. I mean, come on, everyone knows that shit's good.
This is the problem is that
that's tonight, later tonight, in the living room, new camera setup.
The issue isn't that somebody like me makes a video and says that Concord is bad. The issue is the fact that hundreds of thousands of people watched the video and said, yes, I agree with that. That's what they're really upset about. That's why they're really mad. It's because people are agreeing with it. I'm just simply a conduit for that. There have been plenty of games that I've done sponsors for and promoted, and the game didn't go anywhere. So it's not like having a content creator make a positive video about your game or a negative video about your game is really going to do anything.
True.
Like, let me think of a game that I made a negative video. I was very negative about Zenless Zone Zero. I really didn't think the game was very good. And even then, the game had, what was it? $100 million it made. Yeah, Starfield. Well, Starfield actually didn't do very well. Yeah, Star Wars Outlaws. Well, I don't know how well that game is doing. There's no sort of external variables. You know, yeah, content creators are force multipliers. If the game is good, it will make the game better. If the game is worse, it will make the game worse. I think that's a really good way to say it. Yeah. So basically,
I don't even know if content creators will make the game worse typically.
It's funny how people are talking about grave dancing on Concord before Concord was dead, and now that Concord is dead, well, here we are. Here we are. Can influencers act as an accelerant, though? Yeah, they definitely can, but if I was putting out opinions that didn't resonate with an audience, then the audience would stop watching those opinions. Like I've made a number of videos that I've done that were just really not that exciting. You know, people didn't like the video, they didn't agree with my point of view, and that was it. It's not like it changed the way the world saw things. It's just that there were videos that I've had that missed, of course. No, I definitely started playing Wukong because of you. Yeah, but you wouldn't have started playing another game that I would have promoted that wasn't like Wukong. You probably liked Wukong in the first place.
Yeah, if someone says, hey, I started playing Black Myth Wukong because of you, but Black Myth Wukong is also genuinely a good game.
Play it made you sure that you were going to play it. That's it.
It amplified it.
The shutdown is the X thread is closed. Their subreddit is closed. It's like they don't want people talking about.
Let's watch the Concord trailer.
Free gunning. It's hard work, but it's our work, and we don't take it for granted. Being a free gunner means, well, you're free.
Right on target. Yeah, you better run.
Free gunners have a shot at making something of themselves.
This is an expensive game. Oh, I didn't realize it was like this. Holy shit, this looks expensive.
And we don't take it for granted. Being a free gunner means, well, you're free.
Right on target. Yeah, you better run.
Free gunners have a shot at making something of themselves. A chance to be someone.
All right.
It's anyone's game. You won't survive on your own.
Target blinded.
Finally, to battle. Endless rage!
We risk our lives every day to do the job.
I'll clear the way. Time to show them the big guns. That's me.
Played the beta. It wasn't actually bad, but no one is paying $50 for it.
This crew will go anywhere.
Man, this is I genuinely think this reminds me of where, like, here's a hot take on this. This reminds me of where Valorant was prior to them redesigning the characters and completely overhauling the art and aesthetic. Like, I just can't, like, this just isn't a world I'm excited about. I feel like the characters look like background characters in a Star Wars scene.
Take any job. Face any enemy. We're the free gunner crew of the North
Someone said Temu Guardians of the Galaxy.
Star. And together, we're going to make our mark on this galaxy.
Dude, compare that to like this.
Would you like to join us for game night?
Bro. Showed no gameplay, by the way, but still. This shit was hype.
Phoenix, please tell me you have the package.
I would if somebody was a little less aggressive. Hey, stop! I said stop!
Bro. Also, good pick on their characters. Like, dude, Jet and Phoenix are just the fucking shit.
Oh, that's how you want to play it.
Yeah, the other thing is offering $50. Like, what? Like, why am I playing this game over Valorant that's free? Like, here's my take on how games work, okay? You can offer like 3 different kinds of games these days, chat. Okay? You offer like, one is like god tier gas, which is games as service, right? That's like Valo, CS, even CS is premium, but like League. Or you're like, it's not even AAA, I call it like quad A story. And this is like Wukong. You know, that kind of stuff. There's also like there's like games as platforms. There's a whole other thing, but like game as platform. Platform. And this is like Roblox, Fortnite. And then there's just like good fucking indie game. Good indie. And these are like, this is like free. These are like 60. And then these are typically like 5 to 20. You know what I mean? It takes 2. Still Wakes the Deep was great. Like, you know? I actually think indie games are on the rise. All right, I forgot the 5th category, gacha games.
You cannot let her plant.
All right, I'm going in.
What about the hostile?
I wouldn't worry about her.
Are you certain?
100. I got this.
미안해서 어쩌나?
Hey, Control. So, about the package...
Up on my body, up on my body, up on my body, up on my body. Bro, but like Valorant has one of the best aesthetics and branding of any game. Listen, I know Valorant, child graphic, whatever, from like fucking the CSGO community, but like, dude, you cannot deny that Valorant's like aesthetic is just the best. The only game I think that I genuinely think has like better kind of like characters and aesthetic is maybe Overwatch. Valorant is so fucking good.